Welcome back to page 121. Today we're going to talk about the Thief-Acrobat. Oh boy! Out of Unearthed Arcana. The Thief-Acrobat. We'll talk about it. I think the Thief-Acrobat was indicative of where AD&D was going to go in 2nd edition had Gygax stayed. I think the Cavalier, which I'll discuss in another video, was another example of where we were headed. I think AD&D was going to become more and more skill-based, and well, we got the Thief-Acrobat. I played one. Played one for about 3 levels. We're going to talk about the Thief-Acrobat and why I'm not being nice. Today on page 121, the Thief-Acrobat. Also, subscribers, come on in. As of the filming of this video, I'm very, very close to 2,000 subscribers. Come on, let's kick it over the top. Also, I have a Patreon going with active rewards, so please take a look at that. If there's anything you can help out, do to help out the channel, that'd be fantastic. Back to the topic at hand, the Thief-Acrobat on page 121. All right, the Thief-Acrobat. I had a little fun at the opening, just kind of picking on the Thief-Acrobat. I'm probably not going to change much during the video, and I apologize if anybody out there had a lot of success with this subclass. You know, hey, great. You know, I understand it. Sometimes you get that one freak character that's just wonderful no matter what else happens. I've had those characters. This was not one of them. The Thief-Acrobat was first offered to the public in January of '83 in Dragon number 69. I didn't take much notice of it then. I read it. I didn't think much of the class, and nobody played one. And then when Unearthed Arcana came out in summer of '85, I read the class and I thought, yeah, I had a 4th level thief, and I thought, yeah, you have to become a Thief-Acrobat starting at 5th. I said, this is perfect. I had a 4th level elven thief, and so I went to my DM and I said, hey, I want to be a Thief-Acrobat. And he said, really? And I said, yes, it's going to be exciting and wonderful. And he said, really? So we went with the Thief-Acrobat. A little bit background on the Thief-Acrobat. This character, Gord the Rogue in the Gygax novels, the Greyhawk novels that Gygax wrote, Gord starts out as a thief and then becomes a Thief-Acrobat. I understand why that was near and dear to Gygax's heart, and he wanted to come up with a character class for it. But what he came up with was a subclass for it. So basically a Thief-Acrobat, and by the way, this Thief-Acrobat is very, very close to Gord from Gord the Rogue from the novels. If ever you want to play Gord, this is a good way to do it. So the Thief-Acrobat is any thief with a minimum strength of 15, the minimum dex of 16 may decide to forego normal thievery after rising through 5th level in experience and become a split class specialist, a Thief-Acrobat. The thief leaves off all practices which increase your manual dexterity and begins a regimen of physical exercise to build coordination, muscle tone, and balance. You cannot progress further than your 5th level in pickpockets, open locks, read magic, which you never gain, find traps, and remove traps. Okay, that's a lot to give up. You keep the skills at 5th level, but they never get better. And then Thief-Acrobats with a strength and dex of 16 or better add 10% experience points. My particular thief had a 16 strength and an 18 dexterity. He was an elf. So I was pretty excited about this. I thought, wow, I make the requisites. I even get the 10%. This is going to be exciting. So basically, once you get enough points to achieve 6th level of ability as a thief, you have to immediately stop being a thief and become a Thief-Acrobat. You have to seek out a Thief-Acrobat of at least 10th level to train you, and this takes several weeks. And the primary functions of Thief-Acrobat are tightrope walking, pole vaulting, jumping, and tumbling. The Thief-Acrobat retains the abilities to move silently, hide in shadows, hear noise, and read languages, which he had acquired through 5th level of the standard thief. Although the ability to read magical writings is never gained, the ability to climb walls is still increased according to experience level. So you get to keep your climb walls, you get to keep that going. The Thief-Acrobat, yeah, you move silent, hide in shadows, hear noise. are not on this list of things you give up to be a thief acrobat, but here they are. You lose all of your skills except basically climbing walls. Tightrope walking assumes the character will use this means to get from place to place. So basically, you're going to throw a grappling hook onto something in a far cornice, pull the rope taut. It's still a slack wire because you're not using any kind of winch or anything to winch it taut. And now you're going to move across this tightrope, but it's really a slack wire, at up to a 45-degree angle, ascent or descent, and you're going to just kind of walk across it, and bam, you're there. So you get to go, and then there's rules about how winds will moderate it and things like that, and you can use a balance pole to increase your chance of success. Pole vaulting, which employs a leverage device, so pole vault, you can pole vault up onto stuff. And then jumping is, of course, the high jump and the broad jump. Okay, we all get all the stats for that, and that all seems pretty darn, okay, this is exciting. And tumbling assumes gymnastic rolls, tumbles, jumps, handstands, and so on. These routines are used in attack, defense, and jumping, falling. Tumbling maneuvers have the following benefits. Attacks adds the indicated percentage in grappling and in the pummeling tables, which we don't use. Evasion enables the character to opt to evade attacks directed at him or her. This is the one I was excited about. Just as magic resistance would work with respect to magical attack forms directed at the individual, or within a relatively small area, or for melee combat. And this confused us, because there's a couple things in this paragraph that are confusing. You can evade attacks directed at him or her, just as magic resistance would work with respect to magical attacks directed at the area. So does this mean if somebody throws a fireball at me, I get my evasion percentage, but it's adjusted by the level of the caster? Or I get my evasion percentage just as it is, and if I'm successful in my evasion roll, I am completely undamaged by the magical attack. So kind of confusing wording there. And it also allows you to duck from melee combat. But you have to have initiative. In the event, the chance of success cannot exceed 60%. So I was a 6th level thief acrobat. I could tightrope walk 75% success, pole vaulting 9 foot, high jump 4 foot, standing broad jump 5 feet, running 9 feet. I had a 6% bonus to my pummeling, 10% chance to evade something, and then I could fall taking 25%, taking no damage if I rolled 25% or less from a 10-foot fall, and even if I fail that, I only take 75% of the remaining damage. That's brought out here in this paragraph. Doesn't seem like much, but hey, I'm just starting out as a thief acrobat. It'll get better. And then it goes on to weight and encumbrance. You get adjustments for strength for the high jump, the standing broad jump, and the running broad jump. And then the thief acrobat tightrope skills for your dexterity. And then what weight you can carry. So 23rd level thief acrobat could carry an additional 400 pounds. Okay. So the example they give is the individual 22nd level, a 400-pound person, perhaps a man in plate mail, can be carried on the thief acrobat's back, but only so long as the individual did not move so as to throw off the thief acrobat's balance. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to stay. Now, I made it to 9th level with this character as a thief acrobat. I really did. And I was excited because I thought this was going to be some really good stuff. So there's my tightrope walking. My pole vaulting is improved to 10.5 feet. 4 3/4 feet jumping. 6.5 feet from a standing broad jump. 10.5 feet running. 9 foot for my pummeling, or 9% rather for my pummeling. 25% chance to evade. And then 25% chance of taking no damage from 20-foot fall. And even if I take damage, it's only 75%. Okay. And then as an elf, I got some bonuses and a few minuses. And, well, long story short, the tightrope walking, slack rope, whatever you want to call it, and the pole vaulting and the jumping are all things that can be overcome easily with magic, and magic attainable by a thief of relatively low level. Even a potion of jumping or spider climb takes care of some of this. So I'm kind of going, okay, well, after I played them for a few levels, I'm going, well, I can overcome a lot of this just by gaining some magic items, or I don't know, if ever I'd gained the ability to read magic, I could have just cast these spells off a scroll. So I struggled a little bit there, and I thought, well, the tumbling stuff, that's cool. And the evasion I was really excited about. So at 9th level evasion, I was at 25%. Yes, but again, we hadn't answered the questions. Does this include evasion as in I'm evading like magic resistance, where it's reduced by the caster's level or increased by the caster's level? And we ruled no. We ruled that the level of the caster, a fireball is a fireball is a fireball, as far as we're concerned, as far as the effect is going. If I could dodge a 6th level fireball, or cast by a 6th level magic user, I should be able to dodge one cast by a 12th level magic user. So we said, okay, it'll just be the raw percentage, no adjustment there. And then the evasion, of course, gives me the opportunity to dodge damage, provided I have the initiative. So I'm going to be standing there waiting for the attack. So I did that. I tried that a number of times, and I had a whopping 25%, plus I was an elf, so 30%, and another 5% for my dexterity. So I had a 35% chance to evade, a 1 in 3. I evaded 1 or 2, but to evade, my DM, I think, correctly ruled that was all I could do for the round. I couldn't attack. So all I ended up doing was every third round, I would average evading a blow, but I'd get hit the other 2, and I couldn't counterattack. So basically, what I'm getting at is I found nothing but downside in being a Thief-Acrobat. I didn't see any bonus, any improvement as to being this split class. We tried to work it in. My DM was very accommodating. My DM gave me some nice burglar stuff to do, where I'd have to throw the grappling line and pull it taut, and maybe have a really strong party member hold the other end, and then I'd walk across it, and then one of the thieves or the MUs of the group at 6th level would have fly, and they'd just fly over. And it no matter what he tried to do to make this class work, it didn't work. Anybody's familiar with Oriental Adventures, which was out at the same time of this book, there's a couple of split classes in that and a couple of add-on classes in that. And I really think that that's where Gygax was headed with AD&D by the time he left the company. I think we're going to see a lot of that in 2nd edition, and I think it was going to be very skill-heavy, which it ended up being anyway. But I think this is another example of something that was rushed to press in this book and had no real playtest, despite it being around for 2.5 years in public hands. It was around in January of 83, and this book didn't come out till summer of 85. So we had 2.5 years to play around with this. And my DM, again, he tried. He came up with a couple of magic items that would enhance my ability to do this and that. And he tried to make it really interesting. But by the time I was 9th level and my party members were, 8th, 9th level, and they had various magic items and such, and I even had some magic items that negated a lot of what I could do as a Thief-Acrobat. And it just, in a very skill-heavy campaign, with magic being very light, the Thief-Acrobat might have had a place. But even in a campaign where the MU just gets normal spells, by the time the MU is 8th level or so, they're casting 4th level spells. A lot of what the Thief-Acrobat can do can be surpassed by the magic user at that point. So, disappointing class for me. I was the only one in our group to even try the Thief-Acrobat, and like I said, when it came out in 83, all of us just kind of blew past it and paid no attention to it. For whatever reason, I got excited about it when this book was published in 85. And I played the Thief-Acrobat off and on for, about 1.5 years, 2 years. And I gave him a good try. I genuinely believe that I gave this split class a genuine good try, hoping that I would find that magic moment where he really shined. And I never did find it. I thought this was just a bad class. I think this was Gygax trying something new, also being in love with Gord the Rogue, and another example of this book just kind of being rushed to press. The other interesting thing about the Thief-Acrobat is we get the experience table. It's harder to go up as a Thief-Acrobat than it is as a straight thief, by a couple thousand per level, and eventually by many thousand per level. And then this experience level shows the 12th level, but it doesn't tell you how many hit dice you get. So that confused us too. We thought you got up to 12 hit dice. And then we went ahead and we read one little paragraph toward the end here, and it says, in all other respects except as indicated herein, the thief acrobat is treated as a thief. This includes the gaining of followers, other special abilities, setting traps at 5th level, of course, and the gaining of experience points. Well, that's different because the table is different. But we took that to mean that also means he stops his hit dice. Thief stops at 10 dice 6 for his hit points, so we went with that ruling. It never became an issue because I stopped mine guy at 9th and nobody else in our campaign even tried this class. So there you have it, Thief Acrobat. Tell me why I'm wrong. This was just the greatest darn thing, and if only Gygax had done more like this, wow, D&D would have been so much better. Just tell me your experiences with the class, and maybe he was a beloved character. Maybe it was a lot of fun for you, and I get that. I totally get that. And I had some good games playing this character, but nothing notable because he was my character. And I guess that's my main point. So that's it for today on page 121. Sorry to grumble a little bit, but I knew I had to get to the Thief Acrobat eventually. But I've got some fun ones coming up. Soon, not necessarily next, but soon the Barbarian will be taking the field. We're going to talk about him a little bit. So that's it for today on page 121. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And I want to thank you for your time. And I'll see you next time on page 121.